So what if I told you that our entire universe, everything we can see, everything we can measure, is actually just one solar system? Today we're going to dive into a cosmological framework that starts with that pretty radical idea and builds to something, well, truly infinite. It all really boils down to two fundamental questions.
First up, how big is our universe really? We tend to think of it as, well, everything that exists. A single, gigantic, ever-expanding space filled with countless galaxies.
And then, this second question, who, or maybe what, is running it all? Is there a system, a guiding force, a master? These two questions, they're really the pillars for everything we're about to explore. So let's tackle that first one, the true scale of a universe.
To even begin to answer that question about size, we have to start with a new definition. The source material for this explainer basically argues that the very word universe needs a complete rethink.
Okay, so in this cosmology, the term Brahmandamu, which we translate as universe, doesn't mean the whole of space and time. No, instead it defines something way closer to home, a single solar system.
Just let that sink in for a second. Our sun, all the planets orbiting it, the asteroid belt, that whole setup, that is one complete universe. This idea alone forces us to just dramatically zoom in. The cosmos isn't this one vast, lonely entity, but more like an ocean of these distinct, self-contained units.
All right, so if a solar system is a universe, what's inside it? It's not just planets and empty space, not at all. This framework describes this incredibly intricate, layered structure of different realms of existence, all stacked right here in our cosmic neighborhood.
As you can see here, our single solar system is kind of organized like a cosmic skyscraper. There are 14 different types of realms, all stacked up in this vertical hierarchy. Right at the very top, you have the highest divine abode. Then as you come down, you have other divine and heavenly realms, with Earth, that's us, the mortal realm, sitting right in the middle. And then beneath us, the structure keeps going down into the netherworlds and at the very bottom, the hellish realms.
So looking above our world, the structure is incredibly detailed. It starts with the ultimate abode, Parandham, and then descends through these other divine realms. Below those, you've got a series of 7 distinct heavenly Lokas, or planes of existence, and each one is a layer in this cosmic hierarchy that leads right down to our world.
And what's below Earth? Well, this cosmology talks about 7 netherworlds, which are called Lokas. But it's what's underneath those that's just staggering. A number of hellish realms or Naraka Lokas that's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
The scale here is just mind-boggling. The number given in the source is 55 crore. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, 1 crore is 10 million. So we are talking about 550 million individual hellish realms, all contained within the boundaries of our single solar system.
And this is where it all gets really interesting, where the model connects this metaphysical idea to the physical world. What are these millions of lower realms? The source says they're what we see today as asteroids, comets, and all the other large celestial rocks flying through our solar system. So the asteroid belt, it isn't just a bunch of rocks. It's a visible sign of these other realms.
Okay, so we've got a structure. A universe is a solar system, and it's filled with all these tiered realms. That brings us right back to our second big question. Who runs it all? Who's in charge? Who keeps the planet spinning and all these realms in order?
The answer, a lot like the definition of a universe, is probably not what you're expecting. To understand who's in charge, we first have to accept that our Brahmandamu, our solar system, is not the only one out there, not by a long shot.
Here's the logic, and it's actually pretty straightforward. If you have one universe, you might have one master. In this system, that master is called a Shiva. So it follows that if there are infinite universes, which this cosmology says there are, then logically there must be infinite masters, infinite Shivas, each one governing its very own solar system. And this is the second foundational pillar of the whole model, the concept of infinite universes. It takes that idea of our single solar system and just multiplies it forever.
The implications here are just, well, they're mind-bending. First, there isn't just one solar system like ours, but an endless number of them. Second, every single one is run by its own master, its own Shiva. And maybe the most astonishing part of all, every single one of these infinite universes has its own Earth-like planets.
Yeah, the source is really explicit about this. Our setup is not unique. The entire structure we just walked through, the divine realms, the heavenly Lokas, and one or more mortal Earth-like planets. All of it is replicated in every single one of these infinite solar systems.
So let's just put it all together. What we call our universe is, in fact, just one solar system. It's a complete, self-contained unit with this complex internal structure of realms. And this entire unit is just one of an infinite number of identical units, each one run by its own master, stretching out forever.
It's a truly vast and honestly pretty humbling vision of reality. And it leaves us with one last profound question to think about. If our entire world is just one and an infinite number of copies, what does that say about our place in it all?